Fire away.
When you have a defense like theirs that doesn't blitz a lot, but they're still able to get some pressure, what kind of challenges does just a four-man rush present for offensive linemen, and what are some of the things that are unique about how they approach rushing the passer?
The Seahawks defense line is definitely the strong group of their team, right? They're relying on their D-line to get after the quarterback, and they can do it without pressure. They do a really good job of just executing their stunts. I think when you want to run the games and the stunts, you got to have guys who can really pry it open. And they got big guys inside who can really play fast off the ball, really penetrate and open it up for guys to, create havoc up the middle of the pocket. So we just have to be aware of where they're aligned. We got to be aware, and we got to finish. That's the main thing. Like, it's not going to be anything that we haven't seen before. We just have to be on it. We have to be able to communicate, and we have to be able to just strain to finish.
When it comes to Sam Darnold, some of the things you saw from him last year when he has time to operate, what do you see from him as a pocket passer?
Sam has done a great job this year of hitting his targets. They're a very explosive offense, one and foremost because he's able to deliver the football at all three levels of the football field. Right, does a really nice job of throwing the ball deep. JSN did a really nice job making plays on the football as well. So, and they protect it well. So he's done a good job of spreading the ball around, making good decisions with the football, and that's why he's been having a really good year.
Might have been in college, so he might not have been around here much. Do you have any memories of him, and what do you like about, or what do you respect about what he's done with that offense?
And Clinton's done a nice job. All the places he's been, starting in Minnesota, then on to New Orleans. Like, he's done a really nice job of when it comes to just implementing that scheme. Right, he's very he has the history of the scheme. He's evolved it, and to make it fit to each place he's went to, he made it fit the players that he has. But you could tell just the genesis of the scheme where they're running off the ball, outside zone. They do a really nice job. The O-line does a nice job. The backs are doing a nice job of staying on track, right? And the one thing I would say is the way he marries up his play-action pass game is really tough to defend. So he's done a really nice job there, and he always has, those outliers. So he has some good scheme plays as well each week. It doesn't look exactly the same each week, so he does a really nice job of game planning for who he's going against.
You talk a lot about the eyes being really important. With the way they run and what they do with play actions, that make this even more important this week?
This is a huge eye game for us, whether it's the eye discipline starting in the pass coverage, right, making sure we're exactly where we're supposed to be, and also in the run game. They do a really nice job making it look the same. So our second-level defenders, safeties, nickels, linebackers, they have to do a really nice job of really keying and diagnosing the plays. That's understanding what they're getting, understanding formations and setups so they can play fast, right? And then at the end of the day, whatever happens, you make the right decision and you got to go make the play. And that's been my message to our guys this week. Like, even if you know where they're going, you got to be able to make the play. And that's what this game is going to be about. Two good teams, competing, really good environment that we're going into, and it's going to be about which team makes the most plays.
From an offensive standpoint, C.J. Stroud and the guys, they got into a rhythm. How much do you feel like that's something that can carry over regardless of the week off?
Each week starts over for me. It's about how you prepare for the given week, right? Whatever has happened in the past, it really doesn't matter. Like, how are you preparing this week? How are you executing this week? Like, that's the only thing that matters. If you continue to execute well, we'll be in a good spot to make some plays.
Expand on that, man. C.J., the way he's playing, what are you seeing from him, the way he's playing?
CJ's doing a nice job just being decisive, taking what's there, getting the ball out to a lot of different guys, making really good decisions. That's what is allowing him to play well for us.
What are some of the benefits of – I see a lot with you guys, defense, some guys around the league, where you're kind of reading the routes, and either reading the routes versus necessarily watching the quarterback so then they can pass things off and things of that nature. What are just some of the benefits of that, and how much does that stress communication?
For us defensively, it's all about communication. No matter what coverage we're running, it'll be about guys being on the same page, all 7 guys in the back end. When we're on the same page and guys understand how each other are playing and we're able to play off of each other, like, it's going to be tough to complete the football on us. So I'm pleased with where our guys are in their communication. They've grown. They've done a really nice job, and we have to go do it on Monday night.
You can go first.
As a head coach, you've had 2 late bye weeks. This is one being early. Was there something you were able to do that you weren't really able to do so late in the season, like your first 2 years, and how it was different?
This bye week has been the same for us. We came in, we got a couple of days of work in, and we let the guys just, get out of here just to recharge, reset. So it's nothing different. It's just a matter of now when you have a bye week, every team has to fight this. Having a bye week is how do you get back into football, right? Making calls, right? Throwing and catching the football, tackling, those fundamental things of football that you miss for a few days. It's like how quickly can you get back to that and execute that on game day?
You've talked about how hard of a worker Xavier Hutchinson is. At what point, maybe this offseason, did you, or early in the regular season, did you think he might be able to step up in an increased role that y'all needed him for?
Hutch has done a great job. It was all off-season, just watching the way he worked, especially in training camp, watching him make play after play in training camp. He just proved and he showed that confidence in camp, and he showed that he was deserving of more opportunities, and he's the same guy he's always been. He's just did a really nice job of just continuing to develop and evolve as a player, and that's what you expect from young players. You expect to see the growth, and Hutch is definitely representing what it looks like to be a pro, growing in year 3. That's what it looks like.
Byron Murphy's been one of the more productive guys on the inside getting to the quarterback. What do you see from him?
Byron's a really great player. I really like Byron coming out of Texas. He's a really stout player, but not just stout, big defensive tackle, right? He plays with explosiveness and quickness. I think that's what makes him a really good player. He runs sideline to sideline, so he's not just a one trick player. Like, he can stop the run. He can be effective in the passing game as well. He does a good job executing the stunts. Him and Leonard Williams on the inside, they do a really good job playing off of each other. So there's no downs off with either one of those guys. We got to work. We know they're great players, and we got to outwork them.
What are the challenges of guarding a target-dominant player like Jackson Smith-Njigba when you don't want to pay too much focus to him, where it's putting the rest of the defense in vulnerable positions, but you want to pay the proper focus to him because of what he's done so far this season?
Yeah, whoever we play, it's about us playing our defense, right? They have great players on their offense. Like, we got to be able to account for everyone. So we'll play our defense the right way. Everybody be on the same page, communicate well, go make plays on the football when the ball is up in the air.
Coach, how much did you see your team come together as a cohesive unit after they went through that 0-3 start, coming through that adversity? How much did you see them start to bond together?
To me, we lost some games. We lost some tough games. It wasn't a big meeting or guys having to do something different to come together. Honestly, we needed to finish better, right? And that's what it looked like. It's just guys executing better, finishing better, protecting the football better, taking the football. It's just the fundamentals of football, right? That's what allows you to be on the winning side of games. And when we do those things well, like, we have a better chance of winning the games. When you do things that it's losing football, when you're not protecting the ball, right? When you're giving up explosives, or you're not communicating in the back end, and you're giving up, uncontested catches. Like, those are the things that get you beat. So when we just buckled down and did the things that we're supposed to do, that put us in position to have a chance to actually, win the football game. Now, you still have to go out and finish, and it'll be the same thing this week. We got to play clean football against a really good opponent, like, they're coached really well. I mean, I can't say enough about this team and how well coached they are. I think Mike has done a really great job with them from, the offensive side, Kubiak, what he's done, Mike with the defense. Those guys are playing outstanding. And then nobody's talked about this a lot, but their special teams unit is the best special teams unit, in the NFL. Guys flying around on their coverage units. They're playing physical. They're flying around. In the return game, they're explosive. They're getting the ball out to midfield, got a ton of yards on return. So we're going to have our hands full, not just offensively or defensive, special team as well. It's going to be a really fun game, and we're excited to go up against these guys. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
CJ,
Coming off of the success against the Ravens game, how do you feel like you as an offense, what do you think is working, and what do you think you guys can do to carry that over?
I think, we're starting to find our identity, being versatile. A lot of guys touch the ball against Baltimore. I think that's a good thing. So some things we can keep up and keep up our tempo and getting in and out the huddle. Just operational things is good. So keeping all that stuff up.
Were you able to do anything on a short bye week or an early bye week versus the first 2 years in the league you had a late bye week? Were you able to kind of reflect a little bit more, look back more, change more, or is it just kind of same old for you?
Yeah, same old. You do a little self-scout, and then you come back and you see who you're playing, and you work from there. So it's kind of similar. I think we had a week 6 bye my rookie year, so kind of used to it more than what we had last year.
CJ, I wondered about your relationship with JSN and when you knew in college that he was going to be a special player.
Yeah, the first day I met him, I think we were at the opening, and he was killing. He was on a different team. He was doing really well. And we go to Ohio State. I think we were in the same dorm. No, he was with G. But yeah, first day of practice, he one-handed a pass, and I was like, yeah, this dude's for real. So ever since then, I'm like, man, he's one of the best I've ever played with, if not the best. So, man, I'm just super proud of him. I've always known that this is gonna happen, so it's no surprise to me. But just very proud of him, and I think he's gonna continue to do great things.
And if you don't mind, would you be able to share any of your recollections of that epic Rose Bowl where you two just went crazy?
That was honestly, for us, we didn't even really know it was that crazy, but it was a day of practice for us. Yeah, so me and him have a connection that I think is just kind of natural, and we just took off that day. But it was other days we did really good too. So, but that day was special. Playing back home and him having probably the most legendary receiver performance in college was pretty dope. But honestly, it seemed like we were just at practice.
look at this Seattle defense, talk about what you see and what you really have to be prepared for.
Yeah, their D-line is really good. They play together. They play stout. Had a lot of playmakers up front. Ernest is a great backer. He gets those guys lined up and in the right calls. And Spoon is a heck of a player along, with their back end. So, all around from top to bottom, they're a really good team. And they play together. Mike is a great coach, head coach, of course, but a great play caller as well, great defensive coordinator. Played against him a couple times, and, he's does some challenging things. So you just got to be prepared and prepare us the right way.
On the flip side, you all's defense has been among the best in the league. You go against them every day, went against them a lot in training camp. How would you describe what it's like to go against this particular defense?
Yeah, it could be suffocating where, they're pushing the pocket, playing sticky coverage, the run game, they're being stout, setting edges and running to the ball, talking crazy and slapping their helmets, do all type of crazy stuff. So that stuff could be demoralizing. So I've been on the other side of that, but I think it prepares you, to even because that stuff is bound to happen. Like the other team gets paid too, but it keeps you, at least for me, to keep myself motivated for the next play, because it takes time. These defenses are really good, but it takes time to unlock a defense. Sometimes the first play, sometimes at the last. But I think playing against our defense has taught me, to stay down for the come up, play my game, take what's there, and and try to just move forward and don't fall for the hype. But they do a great job of running around, playing together, and just playing free.
One of the things that we talked about a lot in training camp was the amount of control and command that you would be able to have over this offense. As time has gone on, and especially over these last two games, are you starting to get more of what Nick wants you to do, but also implementing more of C.J. Stroud into this offense?
Yeah, I think every week I get better. I think as an offense we understand what fits for us and what doesn't work that we've tried, So it's all about just adjusting week to week, upgrading our iPhone, upgrading our ideas. So I'm all for that. And I think it's just been good because, we're able to get some games under our belt where we played good, and I just want to keep that going. So, yeah, it's every week getting better.
A lot of the players on the offense side of the ball said that what Nick Caley does is he utilizes who's on the field. So he has different types of packages for the players who are on the field to utilize their skills. Was that something that you all emphasized coming into the Baltimore game as far as Xavier Hutchinson was concerned?
Everybody that we have is very talented, and does different special things. Like Hutch is different than, the other guys in his room. Harrison is different than other tight ends, where Titus is different than other linemen. So you do things that, to make them look good as well, to work to their strengths and benefits. And I think, that's just NFL offense, it's just offense in football. So Hutch was the guy, who ate, but I think, thought J-No played great. He, Nico, C. Kirk stepped up really big for us. So, I think it's cool because you see a lot of guys eat.
Been doing some self-scout through the bye week. Just kind of what were some of your takeaways from the first 5 games of the season so far?
I think I'll just keep that kind of to myself on what we think. But there were some things where I think we can build upon, and there are some things that I think we shouldn't do anymore. We should just move on, try some other things. But I thought, what we did coming to practice last Wednesday was really helpful to, work on some of the things that we need to work on. From just a big picture standpoint as an offense instead of just against Seattle or against San Fran or whoever we're going to play. It was good for us as a whole to just fit what we need. So I thought that was good for us.
Along those lines, like you mentioned, the big picture as a team, just not the offense. How pivotal is this game? You could even your record. There's a lot on the line. Also, it's considered a very high-quality opponent.
Yeah, every game's important. I think every game we take very seriously, and we know what's at stake. But it's all about, you can't overthink it. You got to one play at a time, one game at a time, one opportunity at a time. So I think with that mindset, it makes it a lot easier to execute and do well instead of putting a bunch of pressure on yourself. So I think that's what we're doing this week, and I'm excited to go up there and play.
Is there anything different or extra that you do to prepare for a 9 p.m. kick?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, just go and play.
How much do you think there was like a psychological, edge or help in the aspect when DeMeco was just saying, hey, I want you guys to start practicing celebrations, just to kind of help you guys visualize getting in the end zone and having some celebrations going? How much do you think that might have helped the offense psychologically, with that just overall, edge in that aspect?
I think you got to ask him. I don't know. I think it's cool, to have. I think we probably need a couple more in our back pocket. But, yeah, I would say, execution brings energy and breeds all that fun, cool stuff. No one celebrates if you're not doing good. So it takes for you to execute first. But it makes everybody, smile and have fun and looks fun. So I think but it is fun, too. So probably got to add some more things. But I think maybe some method to his madness. Well, he knows. I'm not sure.
AFC Player of the Week after your Week 5 performance against the Baltimore Ravens. How much of that can you attribute to just those guys up front who don't get a lot of the credit when they're doing good, but definitely get criticized when people think they're doing bad?
Yeah, I try to tell them because the same thing happens to me. You can't focus on that. But without them, it's no me. Without them, it's no Nico, it's no Woody, it's no Chubb. There's none of us. They're the heart, beat, and soul of our team, and I'm just proud of them for keep fighting, week to week, because they've done a lot of great things, and as a team, we got to help them out, like I told y'all before, and I think we've been doing that by being more versatile in different ways, helping our guys out. So, yeah, they're doing great. I told you Titus is playing, I think, at all-pro level. I think Jake is being a really good leader up there. Ed looks great. Juice. Tay is really filled into his role. So, with those guys, I think, the sky's the limit when they're on and we're rolling.
You mentioned Woody there. How have you seen him grow as a rookie, and then also, what's the best aspect of his game you think he can bring to you guys?
I think, Woody's somebody who's played a lot of ball in college, played a lot of meaningful ball. Thought he brought a new type of tempo to our team. I think he puts his foot in the ground and cuts and changes directions really good. He catches the ball at the backfield really good, and I think he sets a block really good. So he's very versatile and does a lot of special things.
We've talked a lot about Xavier Hutchinson's growth, but what has he meant to you, as a teammate, as a friend?
Yeah, he's a brother of mine, man. I love Hutch with all my heart, man. We came in together, been through a lot of highs, lows together, and he always put a lot of confidence into me. And he's hilarious. He's one of the funniest people I know. But he's a very motivated and serious player. He loves the game of football, and he's super talented. I'm just happy that he's getting the recognition he deserves. I think the sky's the limit for him. He's a really good receiver in this league, and I think he'll continue to prove that.
Is there any extra juice with these night games? I know you say the 9 p.m. doesn't matter, but just playing, knowing you're one of the only teams playing that night, is it extra special?
Yeah, I think whenever you're playing on a primetime game, it's super fun, and I just try to focus on what's on the field. And I think playing in Seattle will be fun, but every night game that I've ever had has been pretty fun, and the energy is a little bit more, and the focus is a little bit more. Everything is is dialed up, so it's fun. But yeah, it's gonna be a great environment. I'm excited.
CJ, how do you balance being patient as you guys are growing in this new system, but also still being, you're keeping your intensity up? How do you balance not getting impatient with the process?
I would say just transparency, communication with a lot of people, communication with myself. Because like I told you, you can be the hero of the zero, and you can be doing the same things you did in previous weeks. It's just it finally worked. But it takes time, like new offenses, new schemes, new coaching with new quarterbacks, and all these different new things that we've had this year. It just takes a little time to roll, but I think you got to keep the confidence. There's no good player in this league that is not confident in what they can do, or a good coach that's not confident in what they do. So, and I think in focusing on the important things, which is God, family, football. And I know it's cliche, but it's the truth. Like, if you're good with the Lord, you're good with your family, you're good with your teammates, then I think the play is what picks up as well. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.